NANI?!
Okay, let's start this off with a simple thought experiment. You're relatively experienced in the AG meta, but then you've been losing a lot of matches to people for no reason other than, well, you're not hitting hard enough. And then you turn your eyes to, well, the most broken Pokemon in your eyes, and then you decide on whether or not to become another meta slave and spam it. Well, of course you do.
Honestly, when has anyone not been a meta slave? From all the power creep and the dumb strategies they enforce, it's hard to ignore the hard, long-lasting impressions of unparalleled dominance and strength. However, the sheer force and, well, first impressions they leave behind do not mean the full extent of their potential.
Since the last Calyrex video, which was pretty bad, mind you, I was testing with the big 6 of Ubers, and I'll say, it is not fun at all. It sucks to run the meta. But there's always that one specific big legendary that always packs a punch and has the versatility to back it up. No points for guessing who.
Calyrex Shadow Rider? Is that it?
Seriously, Ethanol? Are you still high on Calyrex glue?
Dude, just have a look at what I'm holding right now. You'll get why I like this thing so much.
No! Anyway, let's get back on track. I'm talking about the omnipresent Mega RAYQUAZA, which has been terrorizing everyone's teams since 2014. Think a ban from Ubers, and for good reason.
It's obvious, dude. Just look at those base 180 offensive stats.
Not to mention that 120 base power stat signature move, Dragon Ascent. How I reminisce of the days in which signature moves are not as spammable. But I still love the dragon.
I mean, that's power creep for you. Ever since Gen 6, stuff's been getting more and more absurdly powerful. And just to think that the Weather Trio, well, Ascended Weather Trio, was the beginning of such absurd stab signature spam.
True. But wait, before going on to Mega RAYQUAZA, let's talk about its normal form. RAYQUAZA is by no means a weak Pokemon, considering that 150 offensive stats. In previous generations, it could use a good old Dragonite set and sweep with Outrage, Earthquake, and Extreme Speed. And in Gen 4, it finally got its lifelong item partner, Focus Sash, which was, well, for the lack of a better word, way too common for its own good, since that gen was also the debut of Stealth Rock, something that its Mega form also had to suffer. It didn't get a really good stab flying move until Gen 6, but still, that quadruple Ice-type weakness was something that it still had to be wary of. However, it was notorious for stopping weather teams' sweeps dead in their tracks thanks to Airlock, and punished said sweeper with hilariously powerful attacks. Now, we can finally move on to current gen. Mega RAYQUAZA fills its role with a wall breaker very well, thanks to Dragon Ascent, and the few things that resist it: steels, rocks, and electric types. But besides Dragon Ascent, Mega RAYQUAZA, unlike a specific rabbit thing sitting on a dead or frozen horse, has a way more vast move pool to back its stellar offenses up and to destroy those types as well.
Plus 2 priority 80 base power, which is really good for priority moves. Extreme Speed? Check. All the coverage moves in Earthquake, Surf, Fire Blast, Draco Meteor, even V-Create? Also check.
Oh, wait a sec. We forgot to mention Mega RAYQUAZA's most overlooked part, Delta Stream. This single-handedly eats Ice Beam out of KO range. And we cannot stress how much of a godsend that is. It lets you live max special attack Primal Kyogre's Ice Beam and modest Groudon's Hidden Power Ice no problem at all. That also doesn't stop it from getting neutered from other dragons or even worse, other Mega RAYQUAZAs and Dynamax boys. But still, it has been a lifesaver more times than I can count.
And without a doubt, A Mega Rayquaza that is going to outspeed you puts an insane amount of pressure on your own Pokemon. This allows for the Mega Rayquaza player to put a lot of aggressive reads and very likely get away with them. Notable examples being, well, dropping a Draco on a decimated Cosmo that knows you have V-Create as you predict his switch to Zygarde. It feels really satisfying, I'm not gonna lie.
Not to mention, Mega Rayquaza has some great setup moves, the most notable one being none other than Garchomp's Pipe Dream, Dragon Dance. No offense to any Garchomp buff demanders. If you're really living on the edge, you might be wanting Swords Dance on the menu. But no, that set is old and decrepit and it does not work, trust me.
Well, speaking of Dragon Dance, this move alone allows Mega Rayquaza to bypass the checks that no setup Mega Ray would usually have, in the case that it will vibes once and kills everything. Yay!
Well, what makes Mega Rayquaza potentially go over the edge as a wall breaker is the ability to hold an item. You can run Choice Band, Choice Specs, Choice Scarf, etc. Focus Sash makes Mega Rayquaza retaliate against faster offensive threats and pummel them with hard-hitting moves. Choice Scarf, and to an extent, Choice Band gives Mega Rayquaza the possibility of a push, be it yeeting on an Adamant Nature, or a straight attack boost needed to yeet everything in one single hit, being the terror of unprepared stall teams.
Unfortunately, the story of someone actively using Mega Rayquaza is far longer than just smooth sailing and being the unstoppable force that Mega Rayquaza is known to be. Back in the good old days, Mega Ray was the center of the meta. Well, it's not really something to be proud of, but it's the only Pokemon in anything goes, except Zacian, but this is Gen 7 or Gen 6. So yeah, people had to respect the power of Mega Rayquaza and make according sets to counter, like Lugia running Focus Sash, or most commonly, other Mega Rays, aka Hyper Offense versus Hyper Offense, which made the meta, well, chaotic, which isn't really the best, but I sort of love. And so in order to push Mega Ray's offensive prowess far enough to counter those stuff as well, it ran a multitude of offensive items, Life Orb, Twist Band, or Specs, even V-Create for the occasional decimated Cosmo. But thanks to Gen 8 bringing heavy reboots and even more power creep, Mega Rayquaza's usual walls that had wasted people and plateaus out of much effort, like rocks, now have to be broken through by sheer force alone. And as we all know, sheer force is not going to help you blow past a Lugia on full health, and spamming statuses like a little
bruh.
God, do I hate Lugia.
Mega Rayquaza has gone through a lot. From the Terminator it once was, now into more or less a one-trick monkey. Speaking of monkeys, we have to mention the monkey brain meta that Gen 8 National Dex Anything Goes is.
In the speed centralized meta that is, well, Gen 8, Calyrex and Zacian are everywhere, forcing Mega Rayquaza out of the spectrum if it doesn't have the items to deal with their endless onslaughts. This results in, well, almost every single Mega Rayquaza slapping on a sash, and what can I say, except, well, it only made the situation worse. So now, every single Mega Ray duel is just an unreliable face-off, and it's more dependent on who has rocks, rather than who actually has more skill.
When you put Mega Rayquaza on your team, you're saying to yourself, I trust myself to defog away the opponent's hazards, slap my own on there, soften up the opponent, and wall Mega Rayquaza's checks. But I think we all know that it's hard to bring Rayquaza in very easily.
And the opponent is, how do I say it? Not going to let you have a good time either. Mega Ray is basically forced to run the same item over and over again, which is either Roselli Berry, Scarf, or, well, Focus Sash. You can't really do much except bluffing the possibility of a good sweep. I mean, in this clip, the Zacian hits Behemoth Blade, and then Quick Attack just kills Rayquaza.
Mega Rayquaza not only gets yeeted way more commonly thanks to all the power creep, but also just falls short of outgoing its new threats, which, well, makes you have to run way more utility mons for chip damage, or a Smeargle for boosting. As mentioned above, Zacians can tank a single Earthquake no matter what, which forces Mega Rayquaza to either 1, Extreme Speed, or 2, give up. Adamant Rayquaza falls just short of the KO too, which is depressing. It also gets checked hard by, you guessed it, Calyrex Shadow Rider, because of its immunity to extreme speed, and that Dragon Ascent isn't enough to OHKO the horse either, which allows Calyrex to use it without worry with a single Astral Barrage.
There still has to be a way to break through those things in one hit too. I mean, we can't keep relying on Sash, but how? Oh. Alright, that exists. I'll be honest here. Using Life Orb Mega RAYQUAZA in this scenario was the last thing I expected to work. But I digress, there's no knowing until you try. So after all the trial and tribulation we thought about using all the brain juice that actually ever existed in our brains up, we come back to Life Orb RAYQUAZA, but with the twist that is Scale Shots. Finally, there's the much needed push to break through Zacian in one clean shot, and it is a semi-foolproof strategy against other Mega RAYQUAZAs. And finally, there is no need to fear the Sash meta. That speed boost from Scale Shot is also incredibly essential in gaining the upper hand against Zacian in the first place. Well, of course, prior damaged opponents.
I've been waiting for this.
I've also made my Mega RAYQUAZA special in some way with the move Surf. Very bad joke aside, Surf allows Mega RAYQUAZA to yeet one of the most prominent Pokemon in AG without any worry. How satisfying is it seeing that gigantic lizard go down in one round?
Well, all we've talked about is just Mega Ray's competitive viability and personal experience with it. But when looking at it from a beginner's perspective, let me sum it up for you. So that's how the Mega Ray set is? Cool, let me try. Why doesn't it work, goddammit? Mega Ray in Generation 8 is the definition of the term love and learn. You can't really expect to get OHKO after OHKO because those times have, well, really long passed ever since Gen 6 ended. So really, there's not much I can say about Mega Ray. It's that powerful, but it also gets countered really hard. But considering you can use that massive move pool and an item slot, I suggest you play with Mega Ray a lot. And I mean a lot. And then you'll find the best set for your Mega RAYQUAZA, and I'll guarantee it feels fun and earned yeeting one mon after another into the stratosphere. Sure, well, there's power creep everywhere in Gen 8, and Mega Ray is probably only gonna be sitting in the back for a very long time, but once it comes in after like a faint switch or, well, a hard switch, oh boy, how do I put this? Yeah, this is where the fun begins.
Well, for me, Mega RAYQUAZA is still a very fun Pokemon to play with and against, surely because of its massive move pool. You never know if that Mega RAYQUAZA in front of your Z Calyrex on 75% health is going to finish you off with a Scarf Dragon Ascent, or your Primal Groudon with a special Surf set. Mega RAYQUAZA can be played in so many unexpected ways, so that is why me, a person who despises the meta, uses it without a second thought. It is that unexpectedness that makes a Pokemon fun to play. You know, unlike some signature move spamming horse rabbit thing.
So speaking of, well, Pokemon that just yeet everything in the stratosphere, can we at least have some leeway for Calyrex? I mean, yes, it is kinda dumb, but yeeting your opponents in general is very fun, and Calyrex kinda feels that well, so why don't we include it as well?
Are you still high on... How many times do I have to do this? Give me the glue.
Ow! Ow! What do you do that for?
I swear, every single Hollow Fuse video I have to beat you up once. You know what? Next time you get high on Calyrex glue, prepare to face my special Mega RAYQUAZA Draco Meteor.
But if I have anything to say about it... RAYQUAZA, you skill shot! Wait, why is it the Dragonite's Life Orb set?